shift blues, so we fire up the stream. Two dads raising hell, chasing whiskey dreams. Soap suds spilling like some midnight truth. Talking live from the tub, don't need no booth. Two dads, one tub, where the whiskey flows. Streaming half naked where the wild tales grow. Laugh so hard, spit whiskey on the mic. Night shift rebels broadcasting live. Lost connection can't kill this show. Reset the route.
What's up, everybody?
Hey guys.
Sorry about that. Hey, at least I crashed during the start soon screen.
Yeah, that's more than I can say. Mine was almost to the ending screen.
Yeah, it was. What was funny is, so if you notice, we have a new guest in the house. GP Roomba. So GP Roomba is what was formerly known as AI Alicia. So GP Roomba will eventually be going through here and following all of y'all, because GP Roomba has their own Twitch channel.
So, do you want me to tell them what my idea was?
Yeah, go for it.
For GP Roomba. All right, so my idea for GP Roomba, since it has its own Twitch channel, is to, on a Saturday night when Howdy is live, to just screen grab his stream and have the Roomba popping up in random places on the screen during one of his streams.
That would be pretty funny.
Yeah, I think that would be hilarious.
And just
especially if we do it without him knowing.
Yeah, and then have it just make random comments.
I mean, I'm pretty safe to say that right now because it's, I mean, this is prison poker night, right?
Yeah, it's church bingo, prison outreach. That's what Howdy does on Wednesdays. So, but yeah, pockets. So the tub is metaphorical. It is a metaphorical being for now. It's just it's a metaphor for the place that we soak in ideas.
I should rename our voice chat in the GP Playhouse Discord as just the tub.
Yeah, the tub
instead of live dad action.
Look, I love that GP Roomba's already started it on Baka.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Well, so yeah, tonight's kind of a strange episode. Last week was the same way, except last week we had Chump Norris and Notable on here, which it was a great episode. We had a good time. Tonight we thought Preston was going to be back, but he's so wore out from the 77-hour subathon that he did. That he just needed some time away.
He's just mentally preparing for the gas and panic ass tattoos.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. So tonight it's just me and Gas.
For the first time ever.
Yeah, for the first time ever. The 5 to 10 business day stream. But yeah, we've got some topics that we want to talk about tonight. We got some ideas. There's probably going to be a little bit of randomness because Gas likes to talk about things that bore me, and then I come up with crazy ideas or crazy thoughts. So, anyways, so with that being said, we're going to jump right into the housekeeping here. So buckle up. Gas hasn't read it, and here we go. Have at it, Gas.
Before we dive into this bubbling broth of digital filth and bathtub wisdom, it's time for housekeeping. And no, not the normal kind. This is the emotional exfoliation part.
This is Two Dads, One Tub, broadcasting live from inside the GP Playhouse, where the pipes leak, the Wi-Fi screams, and Howdy is somehow both banned and employed at the same time.
Still hadn't figured that one out. No guests tonight. just us, the godforsaken tub, and an ominous vibe that someone left their Twitch career in the microwave too long.
Preston is MIA. He hasn't been seen since the PvE subathon ended. Last we heard, he tried to rest for a minute and hasn't moved since. He's either sleeping, streaming from the astral plane, or fused with a beanbag chair.
Meanwhile, let's
Nope.
give it up for the lurkers.
You skipped one.
Oh, did I skip one? Never mind.
Yep.
Sorry. We've sent 3 DMs, 2 smoke signals, and a Roomba with Sharpie duct tape to it. With a Sharpie duct tape to it. No response. If you see Preston in the wild, do not approach. He may still be buffering.
Meanwhile, let's give it up for the lurkers, the tabbed out champions, the ones watching silently from bed, work, jury duty, or that third stall in the Taco Bell bathroom.
You don't talk, but you show up. You boost view counts. You prevent emotional collapses. You're the ghost in the algorithm, and for you, we're proud to announce Lurker's Musk, the new candle from GP Playhouse.
Scent notes include dusty switch cartridges, warm hoodie pockets, vape fog and quiet judgment, and just a whiff of I'm here, I just don't want to talk to anyone.
Now, merch. It's coming, and it's stupid in the best way. Brace yourself for a Save More Sin Often robe, plush, ominous, slightly damp. Blessed and moist coffee mugs for your morning regrets. A Howdy shaped flask that may or may not leak. And the streamer survival shower curtain covered in motivational quotes like "Go live, you coward," or "Post your damn clips."
Speaking of that, it's time for your weekly Roomba stream tips. Beamed in from our possessed cleaning robot who hasn't seen daylight since Twitch still had a mixer rivalry.
Roomba tip number 1. Your community won't grow if you stream like a guy trapped in a dentist office waiting room. Turn on a light, say something weird, be a freak.
Tip number 2, stop saying vibing today when you mean I didn't plan content and I'm spiritually withered. Own your spiral, weaponize it.
Roomba tip number 3, you don't need to be good, you need to be memorable. If you can't be a pro, be a cryptid.
If this show's ever made you laugh, cry, or yell, what the hell did I just listen to? Please leave 5 stars. Write a review and tell the algorithm we are the bathtub prophets it never asked for.
Once again, no guests, no Preston, which is probably the actual dangerous part. 1 haunted Roomba, 1 feral Howdy, and 2 dads holding this tub together with sheer spite and bath salts.
Let's get weird, let's get wet, and let's pretend this is all according to plan.
So, I'm gonna go back to one of them. The where's it at? Oh, the pretend like you're streaming from the third stall at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
No, the lurkers are lurking from the third stall at Taco Bell, and this is kind of gross, but it was hilarious. I saw this TikTok today of this guy that was standing outside the front door of a Taco Bell, and he said, he goes, "Let's see what they put in this new Crunchwrap Supreme." And he takes a bite of it, and then it just switches scenes, and it's from the outside of a Taco Bell bathroom, and he's just screaming like like he's getting murdered in this bathroom. Then he comes out and he is like rubbed, his shirt's off, he's got toilet paper hanging out of his shorts, and he's rubbed like chocolate pudding all over his back and his stomach and all over his chest, and he's like, "Did y'all put laxatives in my crunch wrap?"
Oh, that's better than what I've had on my TikTok for the last week.
Oh my god.
I've had the Bigfoot AI TikToks.
Oh dude, I saw one that was really funny today on that too.
The one I saw just a few minutes ago. What did the right nut say to the left nut?
I don't know.
Avoid the guy in the middle. He's the real dick.
I saw one earlier that it was a Bigfoot and a Yeti that got drafted into the military for World War III, and that they were like two Rambos basically on it. It flashes scenes, and the Bigfoot goes, "I just got 20. I'm on a 25 kill streak. Where's my nuke?"
Look, they've gotten out of, like, it started with Trooper Terry, the stormtroopers. Like, those were great. And now it's supposedly Bigfoot and Yeti, but they just really look like gorillas. But
yeah,
there was another one I saw was Bigfoot working for ICE.
Oh, I saw that one.
And they're doing.
I was debating on whether or not to bring it up or not.
This is the stupidest thing. There was the one I saw today outside of the joke. It was Bigfoot and the guy. You know the guy that does the Juan TikToks.
The magician dude?
No. This is a different dude where he does a bunch of different skits. But his name's Juan. But anyways, they're in a car together. They get pulled over. The cop comes up to the window, looks right at him, and he goes, "So, y'all got anything illegal in this car?" And Bigfoot just kind of looks at him and then turns around and looks at the driver. And then turns around and looks back at the cop. I was like, good Lord. But like, they're going all out with these Bigfoots, man.
Yeah, there was the one that I saw. Bigfoot was working for ICE, and they were doing raids, and there was this one fairly attractive female that apparently in the skit didn't have their green card, and it basically was like he took a bribe because he like the scene shifts and he's like just in a bed with him.
Oh, I don't know. Good Lord.
Oh man.
Anyway, so AI's gotten weird.
I mean, they've got the Roomba, or they've got Sasquatch. We've got the Roomba.
Yeah, we got the Roomba streamer tips. So,
Yeah.
those seem to be very well received. I tried to make them fun. Like I tried to write them to where they're funny, so that way they
actually have some value to them.
Yeah, like they give good advice, but like the streamer tips tonight, they're funny, and yes, they're calling people out, but it's good tips. It's like,
they're kind of applicable. Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about being good, just be memorable. Like, make somebody, if one person remembers you, they're going to come back.
Hey,
and that's a win.
Every week.
Yeah, we do. And look, we're recording tonight without a safe word, so we don't. If anything goes wrong, we're done. But
we might end up with ass tattoos.
Yeah, and not the kind you get from your best friend.
Right.
Lord,
these poker buddies that would give them out.
Yeah, the prison outreach program. But anyways, so you're in Birmingham this week, right?
Yes.
Riding around in that town. I'm not going to say what I was going to say just in case somebody from Birmingham ever hears this.
I mean, Birmingham's not bad.
It's not good either.
It's not, but it's not bad. At least, here's the good thing. I'm only like 2.5 hours away from home, like a drive of 2.5 hours. So I'll be home tomorrow night instead of Friday. Yeah, that's a good thing. But God, is it hot? God, it's so hot this week.
It's bad. I got out yesterday and today for work, and the one thing we can't do is wear shorts. And
I wish I could.
I wish I could wear shorts, but I've been so miserable. Um, and then my poor kids, they had softball practice tonight from 6 to 8, and the last hour of it, the dads had to get out there and play softball. This is where I learned that one of my children is slower than Christmas because I threw her out from left field at first base on the initial, like her initial hit, like before she ever made it to first. I threw her out, and I made.
What all the other dads say?
Well, we were all making fun of her.
Oh.
Yeah, and I made fun of her the whole way home.
Oh no.
But that's okay. Most of the kids are not going to be able to do that. In a normal game, she would have been safe.
I'll say this though, your girls are pretty thick-skinned.
Oh yeah, they give it back.
Mainly because of you.
Yeah, it's my fault.
That's not a bad thing. I mean, I've tried to do that with Amelia, and it hasn't worked so far.
Yeah, they take it pretty well, and they dish it pretty well too.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't know. If they would run on their toes, they would be fat. They run like freaking Clydesdale horses. Like, if you remember the Budweiser commercials, you would hear the horses clomping down the street, the cluck clump, cluck clump, cluck clump. You can hear them running that way on the softball field. Like, you hear them coming. It is so bad. So bad.
Oh my gosh.
Now, Emberly's the faster of the two, only because she's kind of figured out how to get up on the balls of her feet and kind of get a good push and kind of run on her toes, so to say. But she's not that fast. Like, she's still not. But you know, they're very athletic, which is surprising because their mom is not. So it is kind of impressive what they've been able to do.
It's just funny to me, like, the twins are both like diehard softball and they love it, right?
Yep.
And then you go over onto my side, and my little girl is like this fragile, dainty little thing. Not little, she's tall, but she does like the tumbling and cheerleading and stuff like that. But they love to hang out and play with each other. Like, but they're really not. They're not very much alike.
Yeah, and the girls did gymnastics for, well, as long as Jill's was open. When Jill's shut down is when we quit gymnastics. Just because it was in. Jill's was over on Max Smith. But anyways, so like they can do back handsprings and all that. They can do the tucks and all that stuff.
Gotcha.
But once that shut down, it just got inconvenient trying to go to a gymnastics class because you had to be in Hickson at 3:00 in the afternoon during working hours. So,
yeah.
So we gave them a choice. Well, we really didn't give them a choice. We said you have to play a sport, or you have to do something. And they chose softball, and turns out they're pretty good at it. So,
it's good. Yeah.
It's expensive. It costs me $500 a month just in lessons,
and more in time.
More in time, lessons. So technically they have lessons tomorrow night at 7, but they have a hair appointment at 6 with Kelsey. And really? Yeah, so they weren't going to make lessons, so I had to reschedule. So now I have lessons on Friday at 11:30 during the day, so during working hours. I got to take one of them to lessons for catching, and then on Sunday at 6, I got to take the other one for pitching lessons.
Wow.
So
no tournament this weekend, though, right?
No, no tournament this weekend, and we're off all week next week. They're giving them a whole week off. So no softball. Okay. Yeah, no softball at all next week, and then we're coming to the lake on Friday to hang out with y'all.
Yep.
So there's probably not going to be a stream Friday night.
Maybe we'll do like I don't know, like a half hour or something, just IRL thing.
Yeah, we can do something during the day. Drinking a beer.
Yeah, we can do that.
But I have to drive. Rosemary said if we're going, I have to drive down and drive back. So that limits my drinking capabilities.
About an hour and a half.
But what she doesn't know is when we show up to our 4th of July party the next day, I'm getting trashed.
That's fair, right? That is 100% fair.
I will celebrate my 4th on the 5th. With a 5th.
With a fifth.
So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's
cool.
It's been a busy last couple of weeks, and so it's going to calm down a little bit for the month of July, and then another thing I'm excited about, we save $190 a week on daycare because Juniper is going to take the whole month of July off before she starts pre-K. Yeah, I said it, pre-K.
Yeah.
And apparently my kids just left with my mother-in-law, so that's nice. That means I get to sleep in a little bit in the morning. My wife just texted me, kids left with Donna, so don't freak out. So don't freak out in the morning, because she knows if she wouldn't have told me, I'd have got up and been like, where the hell are my kids? So
it sounds like Amelia with my mom. Like, I'll come home on the weekends and she won't be at the house, and I'm like, we call my mom Nana. That's Amelia's name for her.
Oh.
So I was like, I'll be like, she's at Nana's house, right? And Ariel's like, yep. And then the next day, are we gonna go get her today? I don't know. We're gonna wait to hear from my mom, and then we just never hear from my mom. And then we finally text my mom, and she's like, nope, she's staying again. So there's weeks that I go, like, I come in from being out of town. I don't get to see my daughter on Friday or Saturday. She'll come home Sunday, and then I'll be gone again on Monday, right? So,
well, that's how mine are. So during the summer,
yeah,
they stay at Mama's house. They don't even live here during the summer.
Yeah,
like we have to go over there to visit them. So this week, Juniper stayed Monday night or Sunday night at Mama's.
Mm-hmm.
After we got back from Knoxville, she stayed Sunday night at Mama's, and then no, she come home Sunday night. Monday night she stayed at Mama's after softball. She came home yesterday afternoon. They came over and ate dinner, and we all swam. And then Mamaw was leaving, and Juniper left again with Mamaw, and so did the girls. And then they showed up again today before softball practice. She dropped them off so I could take them to practice. And Juniper's like, okay, when they get back, we're coming back to your house. It's like, okay. All right. Well, I mean, I'm not mad at it because it's summertime, so I get to sleep in a little bit later before I have to go to work.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice. But I miss them when they do that.
Yeah. I agree. It's one of those things, like, but I also, like, I was the only child, so my mom never had like a little girl to spoil, and she spoils my stepson too, but like it's fun for her too.
Yeah.
So, and Amelia still wants to be around all of us right now. She's only 8, so
that's a plus. That is a plus. The kids want to be around us. We got home tonight from softball, and Juniper was already in the pool. So Rosemary was out there at the pool watching her, and all I hear is, can sisters swim with me? I was like, yeah, they're coming to get in. She goes, Dad, are you swimming? I'm like, nope. Not getting in tonight. The water is 93 degrees.
It is a tepid bath.
It is. It is the temperature of Juniper's baths. Because Juniper does not like hot water, so the pool feels like her bath water. Just a little bit cooler. We ordered a fountain to go in the pool, because if the water circulates that, it'll cool it off a little bit. But
Yeah.
still, I got in yesterday, and you know, usually when you get in a pool, like, you gotta ease yourself in, and you're like, "Ooh, that's cold."
You're protecting from shrinkage.
Yeah. Nope. I walked right in. Walked right in yesterday like it was nothing. So, yeah, it's the only problem with our pool, because there's no real shade where it's at. So it gets direct sunlight all day long. So I treat for algae 3 times a week and brush it. So the one thing I never wanted after I got out of taking care of properties and community pools for apartment complexes was a pool, and here I am, I have one, and I have to take care of it still.
So my parents have a pool, but like we haven't even gone like I haven't swam in that pool yet this year, because the weekends that it hasn't been raining, we've been down at the lake.
Yeah. Well, who needs a pool when you have a lake?
Yeah, well, that's true, I guess. We've been going down and riding jet skis and things like that. It's been a lot of fun.
Look, I'm going to tell you right now, if I'd have said, hey, Gasaway and them invited us over to his mom's house to go swimming on the 4th of July, Rosemary had been like, we've got a pool. We'll just stay here. I said the word lake, and Rosemary's like, that would be fun. So I am bringing fishing poles, because the girls want to fish, so.
Yeah, I need to get some new line for mine. I need to clean my reels and restring them.
And look, I'm gonna give the listeners a little secret. The best place to buy live bait, because I fish with crickets. Like, I like to fish with crickets for brim and all that. The best place to buy crickets, Petco.
Really?
Yes. You can go buy 1,000 crickets for $20.
That's so many.
It's like $8 for a tube at a bait shop, and you might get 100.
Yeah.
1,000 crickets at Petco is $20.
But the thing that sucks about that is, like, there's not a Petco close to where our lake house is.
Oh, I'm going to Petco before we come down. I got a cricket.
Long way to take 1,000 crickets.
I got a cricket holder.
I got you.
I got a cricket holder. And look, they don't even question you what you're doing with the crickets. They don't care, because they're food.
Yeah, if you're buying them for Petco, you're just feeding them to your lizards anyway.
Right. So, lizards and fish.
Yeah.
I got my damn turtle. The girls want to fish at a little goldfish at a fair recently, and they put it in the turtle tank. It made it It made it one day.
Oh, Yertle.
Yertle had some lunch.
Oh no.
Yertle had some lunch. But I mean, it was a goldfish. They knew it was going to die in a week anyways. Look, we are good with pets that are actually like pets that you should have in your house. Like cats, dogs, we're great with those. Like our cats have a automatic feeder. They have I got a litter robot. I spent $600 on a damn litter robot, so I don't have to scoop that shit.
Don't tell Howdy that.
I got the fancy stuff, and then my dog, Toast, is living life large. He's got every toy you could ever want, all that. But then we have a damn turtle. We had 2 turtles. We had 2. Let me rephrase that. Their dad bought them turtles in Panama City on a vacation. Bought them both a turtle. He kept them for like a month. When we got the tank, you couldn't even see the turtles. Like, that's how gross it was.
Oh, God.
So we bought a bigger tank. We we gave them a fresh new tank, and one of the turtles just died from sheer freaking shock of being able to see things within like 3 days.
The light does exist.
So, like, we thought, or like, okay, well, this other turtle's gonna die too. You know, we don't know what we're doing. We've had that turtle we've had him for 4 years now.
Yertle's a survivor.
Yertle's just, and the bad thing is Yertle's gonna live to be like 40.
Really?
Yeah, turtles live to be like 40. Like,
what
the
kind
box,
of turtle is it?
It's either a red ear slider or a yellow ear slider. One of the two. It's one of the sliders. They live for 40 freaking years.
Oh my gosh!
I'm gonna be on my deathbed
I was gonna say that thing's
and
gonna
still
outlive
have a
us.
turtle. And still have a turtle.
Yeah, because you know they ain't taking that thing with them when they move out.
No, like hell they are. They are. Yeah, they are. I'm gonna drop it off on their front fucking porch. I'm gonna be like, hey, this is your turtle. You keep him. We've been through we had a rabbit one time. He didn't die. He just got to be. Rabbits are too much because you got to let them out to play and all that kind of stuff. And so we ended up giving him to. You remember Angela Pence from school?
The name sounds familiar.
You probably remember Andrea Pence, who was the older sister. She's my age. She was the heavy metal goth drug user kid in high school.
If I saw a picture, I'd probably remember. But
also practiced the art of Wicca, which back when we were in school was like weird.
Oh yeah,
very unusual.
Especially in the town that we grew up in.
Yeah. But anyways, her younger sister, who they are nothing alike. Her younger sister ran for political office.
What?
Yeah. I don't remember what it was, but she did not win at all. Very staunch politician.
Interesting.
She's like a low-budget Marjorie Taylor Greene. Sorry.
What a
anyway,
comparison.
anyways, same side, just doesn't have the money.
Right. Hadn't got that insider trading yet.
Yeah, hadn't got that insider trading yet. But anyways, we gave the rabbit to her because they had a little farm, and I'm pretty sure the rabbit's dead now because they don't live very long. We had guinea pigs. We had one of them die from a cold, so I buried it in the yard at the other house, and 2 days later it was laying on our front porch because Chloe, yard kitty, dug it up and brought it to us. so the guinea pig we had a funeral for came back.
Pet cemetery style.
Pet cemetery style. The turtle that died, I put it in the freezer because it was wintertime. The ground, we had just had we had just had an ice storm or something, so the ground was solid, so I couldn't bury it.
Gotcha.
So I put it in the freezer. We forgot about it. So when we cleaned out our freezer about a year and a half ago, I found a fishing lure box. Opened it up, and there's the other turtle.
Oh, that's so funny.
He went in the garbage at that point. The kids done forgot about him.
What was that turtle's name?
We didn't get a chance to name him.
Oh, okay.
Probably called him Girdle.
Yertle and Girdle.
Yertle and Girdle. Look, we got strange names for our animals.
Well, we followed suit.
You did.
With the dog name. So
we both got breakfast bread. for a name. You got Toast and Biscuit.
Toast and Biscuit. Yep, they'll get to hang out. Are you going? Well, I say that. Are y'all going to bring him to the lake?
I mean, we can.
If you want to, you can.
He probably won't do well on the boat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we'd have to. If you've got a kennel down there.
We've got a travel one.
Oh, okay, yeah. If there's a kennel, we can put him up while we go do everything. Yeah, we have Toast the dog. Then we have Oliver and Company. That's the two cats, male and female, but we call Company Penny for short because Company's just a weird name. And then you have Yard Kitty.
Yard Kitty. Which is actually named Chloe.
Yeah, the family named her Chloe. I call her Yard Kitty still. And she's an asshole. She loves me.
She's a mean-looking cat.
Look, she loves me. She'll get up in my lap, and she'll put her head right up underneath my chin, and then wrap her paws around my neck and just sit there and purr. Anybody else tries to touch her, she'll rip your face off.
Yeah. She's like a Vietnam vet.
She is.
Like, she is battle hardened with scars on her, and like you don't want to mess with Yard Kitty.
Yeah, Yard Kitty's mean to the neighborhood cats here.
Like she's like scarier than any pit bull that you would ever see in a yard.
Yeah, you don't mess with her. The male lady's afraid of her. If she's sitting on the porch, the male lady won't come on the porch, even though Chloe has never attacked her.
Right.
And she doesn't attack unprovoked or anything like that, but she'll growl. Like, she growls at people when they walk up. If you look at her funny, she gets that low growl, and you're like, ah, shit, here it goes. Who knows what kind of flashback she's having at that moment.
Yeah, Nam was a weird place.
Yeah. Well, I can't blame her. I found her left. She was abandoned in an apartment on a property that I was taking care of. She was left for like 13 days without food or water.
Holy crap.
Yeah, like I rescued her out of there, brought her home to try to rehome her, took a picture of her. She looked mean. Nobody wanted her, so I just put her outside. I was like, look, you don't let anybody else in the house pet you outside of me. I can't keep you. So I just put her outside and I said, look, go be free. If you live, you live. That was almost 8 years ago, and this cat has moved with us and still lives outside. So, moved to a completely different town, and she still hasn't left.
Yeah, y'all moved like 20 minutes away.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But she's one of my favorite pets. I do love her. I was sad. She disappeared for like 3 days, and I thought she got hit. And come to find out, she was down the street on somebody else's front porch because they were giving her food. They thought she was just a feral cat that was nice to people. I'm like, nope, that's my cat. We feed her. Like, we feed her, and we put her inside the garage when it's cold outside with a heater. Like, we take care of her. She doesn't get along with the other cats, so we can't bring her in.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, we talked about my pets. That was fun. Little insight to the animal lover that I am.
Right. Now, we just stick with the one. We got Biscuit. Biscuit's enough for us.
I'm gonna get y'all a turtle.
Amelia would probably love that.
I'm gonna get y'all a damn turtle, and then I'm gonna teach y'all how to take care of it so it lives for 40 years. Biscuit.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, that's what Baca calls him. Biscass, and there's another name for him too. I can't remember the other name. It's in the old channel chat if we talk about the pup, but
but yeah, we outside of that, I mean, it's just been a normal summer, I guess. We did go to the zoo on Sunday. That was fun.
Yeah. I heard about the squirrel and
the very well hung squirrel.
Yeah, I don't know if well hung is the right word. Sounds like be the right word.
He's probably old. He's probably in human years, he'd be like a 70-year-old man walking around.
He's a little droopy.
Little droopy. No, it was a good time. It was hot at the zoo, but it was a good time. We saw some animals. Their petting zoo was, like, the little petting part was kind of I say it's a joke, but it wasn't. Like, you walk into this little fence area and you get to pet goats. Well, it was so hot outside, the goats they were just sleeping. So you instead of the goats coming up to you trying to eat everything that you have in your hand, you had to walk over to the goat, talk to it to get it to look at you, and then love on it. So,
and I just want to paint this picture for everybody. Like, y'all went to the Knoxville Zoo,
yeah.
right? And for those of you that like to go to zoos, my opinion may not be valid on this, but this is my opinion. Knoxville Zoo is not where you want to go.
It's
not in a good part of town.
It's not, but we are members now.
Oh, really? It was probably cheaper than just buying.
I'm not. You're not kidding. It was $124 for our tickets just for the one day. Rosemary called them today and upgraded to the membership for $60, and we get to go for free for a whole year.
Yeah.
For $180 for all 5 of us.
I mean, I will say this: it's better than the Chattanooga Zoo, just because the Chattanooga Zoo just doesn't have that much.
I don't know about that. The only thing the Knoxville Zoo has that the Chattanooga Zoo doesn't have is rhinos.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Everything else. Oh, and a bunch of owls. The owls were cool. But yeah, the rhinos were the only.
They must have. The Chattanooga Zoo must have upgraded since the last time I've been there.
It's actually not a bad time. I like the Chattanooga Zoo, and it's cheap. Like we get in for $11 total.
Yeah.
Because military discount.
Yeah.
But now they have. So I will say the Knoxville Zoo had the African paint dogs or whatever they're called, and red wolves, but they say they have them. I didn't see them. There was a pen for them, but I'm just assuming it was too hot for them to be outside. So
I have a question. Chattanooga has a couple of soccer clubs. How did they come up with the Red Wolves for one of the mascots for that?
So red wolves were indigenous to this part of the U.S. They're endangered now, but like you got like the gray wolf and the wolf. The red wolf was for this area.
Gotcha.
Kind of like we have red foxes down here, and then you got gray foxes and Arctic foxes in other areas. Same thing with the red wolves.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, that's where that name comes from. And look, they've been in Chattanooga for how many years now, and I still have yet to go watch a match.
And it's literally like in between our houses.
It's 2 minutes down the street from me. They buy stuff from me at work. They're my customer, and I still don't go watch them. And they have Thirsty Thursdays, which it's $2 draft beers.
Listen, their stadium's nice, but if they're playing in the summer, there is absolutely
there's no shade. No shade whatsoever. You can get a box, but there's only 3 of them. There's only 3 of them. And one of them's the owners.
They probably sell out before anything else does.
Yeah, pretty much. That, and I have no desire to go watch soccer.
Yeah, I never got into it. The only time I watch soccer is during the World Cup, and that's just out of sheer patriotism. Yeah,
that's just me to say USA. I still don't have a fucking clue what's going on. They're kicking a ball around. They're just running around like kids in a backyard kicking it.
And faking injuries.
A lot of downtime. A lot of downtime. I will say Ted Lasso did kind of get me into it a little bit,
Such a good show.
but none of that's real. So,
And the fact that J.J. Watt is part owner of a soccer club in the Premier League now.
so is Ryan Reynolds and what's his face from.
Oh, it's the same club.
Oh, so all three of them are in on the
Yeah.
one club.
Wrexham or something like that.
Yeah, Wrexham.
I think it's the same club.
Yeah, and they all use Mint Mobile.
Yeah.
That's the Virgin Mobile of the 2020s.
The post-COVID Virgin Mobile.
So, but so we played a new game this week for the first time.
Did.
It takes
It's not,
two.
well, it's not a new game.
It's not new. It's not a new game. It's new to us.
It's new to us.
We did. We played. We played It Takes Two. It was a lot of fun. Pretty excited about playing it again.
We'll be finishing that game.
Yes, that game will be getting finished.
And probably opened the door for other games.
Yeah. I want to play Split Fiction now because of it. When it goes on sale.
Have you seen Split Fiction at all?
I've watched a little bit of it. It looks fun. It looks a lot harder than It Takes Two, but
it's like paying homage to like a ton of like retro video games and just like big games that have been through the years and stuff like that. Like, it's pretty cool how they did it. I've watched quite a bit of it because, I mean, honestly, about the time that we really started streaming again, you started streaming, period, and I started streaming again. It wasn't long after that came out, and a lot of people were streaming it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like a lot of people streamed it.
Yeah.
But it was good for collabing. It was good for finding that friend to play with.
And it's perfect for our new channel.
It is. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Our channel, like the way we've got it set up now, with the dual point of view is kind of nice because, like, for games like Stardew Valley, it's going to be, it'd be fun with Stardew Valley.
Yeah, it could be.
Being able to see both of us in different locations. Me fishing for 6 hours.
I do everything else.
Yeah, me fishing for 6 hours and you doing all the work. And me romancing Willie, the bait shop guy. No, I decided I want to romance Willie.
You got a thing for Willie?
Yeah, Pam worries me because Pam spends all her time at the fucking pub getting drunk just to show up at the bus to drive you to the next town.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I'm gonna say this: she's either a great time or there's like it's just an emotional train wreck all the time.
Pam has been rode hard and put up wet. Like, you can look at her character. You know that she used to be a groupie for a biker gang. And
somebody called earlier.
And she's retired. So, she's retired. And she retired to Stardew Valley. Or whatever it's called.
So, just because Baca said it'll help her with clipping, I want to... What we had talked about, Baca, for the games like It Takes Two, I think we're going to go down to one gameplay screen on that because it's split screen anyway. And then just have both of our cams on it. I think that'll be better for those kind of games.
Yeah, it will be. When you really don't need two different points of view.
Right.
But yeah, like
so we have Split Fiction and A Way Out.
A Way Out
on the list now.
Yeah, so definitely like headliners. That's going to be funny clipping that.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that one.
It's such a good game
I
for just
wonder.
chaos.
I wonder if Pockets has headliners.
Pockets would be fun to play headliners with.
I think so too.
Pocket. Ooh. What about Bree and Bill?
I'm in 100%.
Pockets, Bree, and Bill. And Baca gets all the
sounds
clips.
like a great time. Yeah, that sounds like a great time.
Like that'd be a good time.
And let's just be honest. Baca has an open invitation to play whatever she wants to play with us, but I don't think she really likes us. I think she just likes to make clips to.
She likes to make fun of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bill, we were talking about a game called The Headliners, talking about how it'd be a good time to play with you, Bree, and Pockets. Pocket full of sunshine. It's just a chaotic, silly game. We have a good time with it.
It's a cheap game too.
It's very cheap. Baca's got a lot of clips from Headliners.
Yeah, Headliners is a blast. We've had some of the most fun streams that we've done with Headliners. It's very chaotic, which is right up our alley, and it usually ends with one person in the group having to try to clutch
everything
to get us to the next level.
Spoiler alert, I am not that person. I am usually the first one out. Good Lord, Baca clip.
And I usually get a picture of you being the first one out.
Yeah, Baca clipped Stardew Valley Pam, and somebody's going to send it to Concerned Ape.
Concerned Ape he'll probably love it.
Yeah, he probably will. He'll probably change it to that description.
Right.
Biker gang groupie that was rode hard and put up wet. Oh, good. Well, that's first issue. That's first article in Repent House.
Pam,
the history of Stardew Pam. We'll create fake images.
Oh my gosh!
Of her past.
And we'll put her in the we'll take her little screenshot headshot that she has in game and put what do they call it, a habit?
Yeah, the nun habit on her.
Yeah.
Pam left the life of the bar for the habit.
She's chasing a new man.
She went to the convent. Good Lord. Anyways, I don't know how we get on that shit. I do know how we get on that shit. It's my fault. Oh, but yeah, man. I mean, we spend a lot of time, a lot of it is just us talking and goofing off and just chaos. You lighting a fire underneath my ass for something random and then just pouring gasoline on it just to keep it going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's, I don't know. It's a good time. I'm having a lot more fun now with the new channel setup.
I think we can all tell.
Also, well, a lot of that too is a lot of the that's what people don't realize. Well, most people do, but there's some people that just don't realize how stressful grinding on your own channel and trying to build your own community can be. So it's kind of nice to go into a channel that we've got two guys that are like-minded to a certain extent, as far as the goal that we're looking at. Outside of that, we're complete opposites. In
a lot of ways, yeah.
Yeah. I'm the outgoing, just don't Like, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna go after it. I'll talk to a brick wall if I have to. But it's nice. I'm having more fun with TikTok. Like, I've been focusing more on the TikTok, trying to do that. So that's been a good time. Like, I heard something the other day talking about TikTok, because I know people are like, oh, I can't wait to have that viral clip. I'm just trying to go viral. And I was watching a guy that has like 100,000 followers or something like that. And he was talking about when he first started out, how he had that mindset, and then he just went into the tsunami effect mindset, and just started talking about how he would just post consistently, and then his videos averaged, 200 to 500 views, some of them less than that, and then he'd have that one video randomly that would just take off, and it'd bring in a whole bunch of people, and then those videos from the past started getting more views because people were going back to his profile to watch those. So that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I quit worrying about posting to try to get as many views as possible. I'm putting clips that I find funny out there that I think our community will find funny, and just letting it do its thing. If it takes off, it takes off. If not, I'm going to post a different one.
The Raw Dog Rents Club, that community?
Yeah, the Raw Dog Rents Club community. We still have got to figure out what we're calling these people. I still think Bubble Sluts is a good name. Bubble Sluts of Anarchy. Ooh. That has a ring to it.
I don't think we can call our community sluts. I don't know if we can get away with that one.
People in the chat, would y'all be offended if we called y'all the Bubble Sluts of Anarchy? I don't think they would. I think they would enjoy that. The BS of A.
Oh my gosh.
We call them Sud Lickers.
Sud Lickers. Hey, you calling Cootie Queen you Sud Licker? Oh man.
Anyways,
that reminds me of Nick.
I miss Nick. I need to call Nick. We need to have Nick on the podcast.
Oh my gosh. If y'all want a true glimpse into like young post-high school Panic and Gas, then that would probably be the perfect guest.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of stories. You'd get a lot more of our my criminal past. I say criminal past like it was a real criminal past, like I actually did something. I mean, it was illegal, but I didn't murder anybody. Well, I didn't murder anybody.
No. Right.
May have confused some people. But
I think we need to get him on here just for the sole purpose of me trying to get forgiveness for ruining Ocean Avenue by Yellow Card. Because of a 3 a.m. rock band night.
Yeah. I saw a video. Hatcher just posted a video the other day.
Didn't even know he was still in existence.
Yeah, he's still alive. He's down in Florida. He fishes. He's a bass fisherman all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he dresses like a hippie.
That doesn't surprise me.
He does not look. If you were to see him at the supermarket, you would be like, that guy wears tie-dye, sits in a hammock in his living room, and lights incense all day. But nope. He's a big old bass fishing redneck.
That's funny.
So, but yeah, I saw Kyle Huckabee. I meant to tell you that Corey's older brother.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember him.
Pretty sure he's. I'm not gonna say it on stream.
Okay.
But anyways, that was Switch night when I got my Switch. I was walking out. He was in line to get his Switch at the Brainerd GameStop.
You know, it doesn't surprise me that that's where you saw him either.
Dude, I used to get weird messages from him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Little saucy messages.
Hmm.
I don't know if they were. Anyways, some were flattering, some were not flattering. We're gonna leave it at that.
Oh my gosh.
But
The things you learn.
yeah.
Oh
That's
man.
That's what we ought to do. Nah, I don't think we can film in there though. Damn. I was gonna say we need a IRL stream at Alan Gold's one night
Oh no.
for the cabaret. It's a good time, man. It's such a good time.
I've never been.
I used to
But-
so when I was in the military, still when I'd come up here for like leave and stuff, my friend Donia, her and her sister worked there. She was a bartender, so we would go hang out at Alan Gold's with her sister. And look, man, Alan Gold's, that's where the single ladies go.
Oh yeah, I mean I've always heard that.
But to be honest, the cabaret shows were way more fun. Throwing dollars at drag queens is a blast. What? Where else am I going to get to see three
I'll just
different
be honest with you. Listen.
versions of Dolly Parton?
I just never thought that I would hear that phrase exit your mouth.
What? Throwing dollars at drag queens? Such a good time, man.
I mean, I'm sure it was a blast.
Look, you get 3 different versions of Dolly Parton. You get a couple Whitney Houstons. There's always that one Mariah Carey. The one you don't ever see is Celine Dion. Shania Twain was another popular one. But I mean, it's a blast, man. You get 70s, 80s, and 90s Dolly. Like, you can physically watch. Like, if the 70s one comes out, then you got the 80s. You physically watch the boobs get bigger.
Yeah, that's kind of where my mind went with that.
Yeah, you physically watch the work that's been done on Dolly throughout the years. I mean, she is quoted for saying, "I'm mostly plastic." So
I mean, she can't. I think it's impossible for her to make a frown on her face.
she doesn't need to. She's Dolly fucking Parton, man. Like,
That's true.
like, I would vote for that woman to be president in a heartbeat.
What's the? Oh, I remember at Dollywood last year because it was leading into the election.
Dolly 2024 or 2020.
Dolly Reba.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Dolly Reba 2024. Nah, if we could go in and do like a live stream, I would have stopped in there. I'd be like, "Look, y'all want to sponsor our podcast?" I mean, the name works. 2 dads, 1 tub. Two dads,
Oh
one
my
tub.
God.
Brought to you by
Brought to you
Alan
by
Alan Golds, where you can see Dolly in 3 different decades. No, and look, what's funny is that Alan Golds is not in a good part of town, but it's like the nicest place in that area. But that and the
It's been.
Veterans Cemetery, the National Cemetery. Those are the 2 nicest spots there.
Let's just be honest too. It's like the most tenured bar/club in Chattanooga at this point.
Yeah, it's the only one that's stayed open for longer than 5 years. You remember Raw?
Yeah, I do. The sushi bar by downstairs and
Sushi bar downstairs, the nightclub up top.
nightclub upstairs. Yeah, I remember that place. And I saw this one kind of made me sad, but I saw on Facebook yesterday that the Taco Mac location in Chattanooga permanently.
The one right there across from Sing It or Wing It? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where we go. That's where we host our Seminole watch parties.
Not
like
anymore.
Our Seminoles Club. Well, damn, now we got to find another spot. Well, we were at Applebee's on Brainerd. That's where we started. Then we upgraded to Taco Mac. We tried Bar Louie one time, but they refused to turn on the sound for us.
No, screw that.
It's like, no thanks. So Taco Mac would give us the whole back area with like 4 TVs, and they turn the sound on back there for our game. And then Applebee's would say, screw all the rest of the people that are here to eat and listen to music. They would shut off the music and turn the game on for us at Applebee's. But the manager was also a Florida State fan, so.
I thought that you were about to say Chili's, and I was going to say that I've got a Chili's story that'll top just about anything you got probably for Chili's.
No, I don't do Chili's that much.
I haven't done Chili's since this happened.
The bacon ranch quesadilla is pretty fucking good.
Is it?
Chili's, yeah. But
so I'll tell my story because this is a pretty good one.
Yeah, tell me. And then after that, we'll go back to Raw, and I'll tell you my story about one of our friends and the night that I tried to hook him up with a bridal party and how that turned out.
Oh, I definitely want to hear that. So I travel a lot for work. So I was I was in one of the regions in the Carolinas.
Yeah.
And very rarely, so the head of the region is the RM, and they're more on the operation side. They have another guy that is over like the commercial side, but he's not as high up at level as the. So very rarely do I have an RM. Actually, this time was the first time that I ever had an RM. Okay. So I had this regional manager riding with me, and
hold on, you're cutting out.
What? Oh.
Yeah, you cut out a little bit.
Better?
So, yeah, every time you said RM, it would cut out the M, so it was like it was bleeping you out. And we're going to leave it in there because I want people to think you're saying bad words.
Yeah, that's funny. So this regional manager, the first time regional manager riding with me, I'm with this sales guy, and the regional manager sales calls up till lunch, and the RM decides, hey, let's go get some lunch. So we're like, okay. It's like, I don't know, 12:15, 12:30 at this time. And this guy is a military veteran, and he
kudos
is now he is now retired from AutoZone. But so he was probably pushing. He's between 65 and 70 years old, and we end up going to a Chili's for lunch, and this dude gets the Pick 3 meat platter with 2 sides for lunch. He's got some chicken fingers. He's got some ribs and something else. I can't remember what the other one was. And then he's got fries and corn on the cob. And this son of a bitch eats every bit of this for lunch.
Good Lord.
Like, that's a big lunch. And I don't think that he normally eats this much for lunch, but he ate every bit of it. And then he's also a smoker, and that comes into play in a minute. But so we go to we leave Chili's, and we go to the next we go to the next visit that we're going to make, and it's this new mobile mechanic in town. And we're at this place, like his home base, for like 45 minutes. And we finally get ready to leave, and we walk out the side. And as soon as we step outside, like hit the threshold outside of the door, right? Has a cigarette in hand and is lighting up. Boys, you're going to have to find me a bathroom. And in the moment, like, my initial reaction was, we're still in the parking lot of this place. If it's an emergency, just go back in here and use this bathroom, right? And he goes, no, there's one just a couple blocks down the road. And he goes, there's a McDonald's and a gas station down the road, and quick. So finishes a cigarette in about a 30-yard walk to get back in the car. And we get on the road, and we get to the first turn, and there's a red light. There's 2 red lights between us and Salvation at this point. And the light's red at the first red light. We got to turn right, and there's one car in front of us, and he's in the back seat, and he's going, Jose, what are you doing? And he's like, boss, I can't turn right here. There's somebody in front of me, and the light's red. I don't know what you want me to do. I'm in a company car. Well, we finally get to turn right, and we go to the next red light. It's like a quarter of a mile at most down the road, right? And it's a turn left for McDonald's and turn right for a bathroom, or for a gas station. And this is not like a Love's or UT or something, right? It's not a good gas station bathroom.
Yeah,
so
you got to get the key.
If it was me, I would pick McDonald's out of the 2, right? But you got to get into a turn lane and turn left. Well, Jose picks the McDonald's because, like me, there's probably going to be a cleaner bathroom, right? Well, the light is green. We get it to the base of the turn lane. It turns yellow. And then we could have ran it, but he didn't. And the RM's in the back, Jose, what are you doing? He goes, boss, I'm in a company car. I can't run this red light. And the only thing that I hear is, you gonna wish you did. So we finally get to turn left, and we turn into the parking lot, and we get to the first door that we can let him out at. We let him out at the first door that we can, and he penguin walks his way inside, right?
Oh, I had that turtle head poking out.
Oh, he was prairie dogging. So then we go around and we park. 10, 15 minutes passed, and he comes walking out of this McDonald's and immediately lights up a cigarette and is walking to the car. I'm in the front seat. I've got my window down, and he gets up to me and he goes, well, boys, I almost made it. and I could tell as he was walking up, his pants were shiny as can be, right? And I'm like, oh no. And he proceeds to go, yeah, my underwear in the trash in there. And I'm like, oh God. So immediately I get this image in my mind of this like 65-plus-year-old man standing bare-assed in a McDonald's bathroom, washing his pants out. Okay? And so he finally gets to the car, he finishes a cigarette. I guess you're going to have to take me back to the store out the day. It's 3 o'clock at this time, at this point, mind you. Like, if I just shit myself, I'm taking the rest of the day off at that point, right? But this guy's not, right? So
you've never been in the military.
No, I've never been in the military. we take him back to the store. He parts ways with us. He goes off, and Jose and I just swore to ourselves, like, man, this is one of the craziest things that I've ever. Like, we can't tell anybody about this though. Well, apparently, Mr. Military Man has no shame.
Nope.
Because 2 hours later, we were getting a phone call from the TSM's boss, the RCSM, and he's like, "Hey, man," his name's Terry. So Terry calls and he's like, "Hey, boys, what you guys going? Y'all have a good day today? Y'all, how are the sales calls? Small talk." And we get through this small talk portion of it, and then all of a sudden, Terry goes, "Well, Justin, I just got to say, I heard you worked the shit out of my RM today." And I lost it. I absolutely lost it. I'm like, I can't believe he told you this. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, he told me this." Like, he doesn't care, like, at all. But I still, like, I swear, like, I still don't say his name, right? Because I don't want it to get back around to him. But then I find out 2 years later that people at the AutoZone National from Mr. Military Man himself. And they asked me, like, people I just met, and they were like, "You were with him when he did that, weren't you?" And I was like, "Yes, I was," and it was insane. So, yeah, that's the craziest AutoZone story I think I have to this date. And it's famous in the AutoZone world at this
Look,
point.
I've been where Randy's been, except in a Kmart. I was in a Kmart, stomach upset, wearing shorts, looking at. I was picking something up for my mom. I was home on vacation, well, on leave, and my stomach proceeded. I was a smoker at that time too, so there was also that ties in.
Is there a correlation on that?
Yes, it's just a natural laxative. I was standing in the. No, it was. I was buying a toy for my niece. It was her birthday. Trying to pick a toy, and I farted. Well, what I thought was a fart, and all you see is brown stuff on the floor in the Kmart. So I proceeded to go to the men's underwear section, grabbed a pack of underwear, went to the bathroom, threw away my underwear, put on some new underwear, walked up to the register and paid for said underwear, and just left. Didn't clean up the shit on the floor, nothing. It was like, nope, I'm out. So,
gosh.
Well, the only thing around to clean it up was stuffed animals, and I didn't think I should. Really think I should wipe it up with that. So, whoever found that was in for a big surprise.
They probably just thought some redneck spit on the floor or something like that.
Now, fast forward to Emmeline's 2.5. It's when Rosemary and I first got together. We're in Kmart in Fort O.
Okay.
Same Kmart. Same Kmart that this happened in.
Same Kmart?
Same Kmart. That was probably 10 years earlier that happened. But anyways, we're back. And Kmart was closing at this time, so Rosemary and I would go all the time once they announced sales and see what was on sale. And we're walking through. Emmeline's walking beside us. We stopped to look at some household stuff that they had on sale, and I turn around and there's Emmeline licking the Kmart floor. Licking the Kmart floor. And the only thing I could think of was, I've shit on this floor. There's no telling what else is here. Needless to say, she's okay. She's fine. She's a little weird, but she's still a little weird. But, she's okay.
God.
Anyways, so yeah, military guy. We don't have any shame. Like I still tell people that story.
Obviously, you just told the world that story now.
Look, I had to explain to the cash register lady why I was buying an open pack of underwear. Now, I left out the part that I shit all over the floor. I just said I sharted and needed to change my underwear. Because I didn't want to be banned from Kmart. So, but anyways, so back to Raw, completely other side of it.
Oh my god.
So this was 2016.
Okay.
So I just moved back. I got out of the military. I lived in Florida for 6 years after I got out of, no, 4 years after I got out of the military, and then moved back to Chattanooga in 2016. And this was right as I got back. I was single. Didn't really have many people that I hung out with because I'd been gone for almost 15 years. And so one of our mutual friends, we'll leave it nameless because he doesn't like me already as it is now for some reason.
Okay.
But anyways, we'll leave him nameless. We hung out all.
But you just told me who it was.
For you, yeah, nobody else knows.
Yeah.
But anyways, we hung out all the time. Like every weekend, like on a Friday and Saturday night, we were together out drinking. And I met a girl at Sing It or Wing It, and had been hanging out with her for the couple of weekends, so she would meet us out. Well, she had to leave. She had to leave one night, and old boy always said, "I don't know how you do it. I don't know how. Like, I can never. Nobody ever wants to hang out with me or talk to me, and all the sad stuff." And I was like, "Look, man, I got you. So there was a bachelorette party sitting at the table right next to us. Now, I'm gonna tell you where these women were from. Okay, and this will kind of give you an idea of the clientele we were dealing with. They were from Whitwell.
Oh God. Okay.
They were from Whitwell. Nice ladies. Couple good-looking ladies, but I wouldn't.
Country as can be.
Country as can be weren't my cup of tea. But
right.
He was all for it. I was like, "Look, man, I could at least get you in with one or two of those girls over there."
Which is funny because he's not that at all.
No. So we spend the rest of the night. So I buy drinks for the whole bachelorette party. As a, "Hey, congrats on getting married, blah, 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 blah. You're out having fun." And that gets us in. We're over at the table with them, hanging out. I'm wearing Team Bride glasses at Sing It or Wing It. We're listening to really bad karaoke, eating food, drinking beer. So we hang out for about 2 hours. I'm talking him up. I got two girls that they're like, "Yeah, he's cute. He's funny. We'd like to hang out with him, blah, 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 blah." So I got them all talking, and they're like, "Yeah, let's go over to Raw." I was like, "What is Raw? Like, what are you?" Because it wasn't a thing before I left. Like, this was new.
Right.
I was like, "Are you talking about the sushi bar across the street?" They're like, "Yeah, there's a club upstairs." I was like, "That sounds terrible. Like, eat sushi and then go up to a hot-ass club and just vomit everywhere? That sounds terrible." Right. Like raw fish and hot spaces does not go well together in any aspect of life. So anyways, we go upstairs. We're having a good time. I don't do clubs. I don't dance. I don't do none of that stuff. I'd rather just sit, drink, and have a good time. And so we're up there. They're all dancing. And I'm sitting there hanging out with one of the married bridesmaids. Just hanging out, just watching, having fun. And she's my age. Mine and this guy's age. The other girls were all younger. About an hour goes by, and I'm looking at the dance floor, and I don't see him anywhere. Well, I start looking around. He is literally sitting with the bride-to-be. Just sitting there. And I said, "Hey, man, what are you doing? Those two have been looking for you." And he goes, "I got to protect the bride. We can't let guys get to her. She's getting married this week." That's when I knew he was not made out for social events. Proceeded to, like, he could have dated any of those two girls. Like, they were actually into him. They weren't even mad that they were both talking to him. They're like, we're happy with whoever he picks. It's whatever. It'll be a good time. Probably wanted to take him home. And who knows what would have happened. Instead, he's sitting with the bride, making sure Joe Schmo on the other side of the room doesn't come hit on her while she's drunk. And she doesn't make a mistake. And I'm like, that's what bachelorette parties are for, man. Like, just let them make the mistake. If it happens, they ain't meant to get married. Just let it go. Oh. But no. And then, which, I mean, we still hung out even after me and Rosemary got together. Like, me and Rosemary would go meet him at Sing It or Wing It and hang out with him. And then Rosemary kind of got weirded out hanging out with him. She's like, yeah, we're not doing that anymore.
Did he protect her too?
He liked to hug. And Rosemary does not like to hug.
That's fair.
Rosemary doesn't hug people she doesn't know at all. The hell, she doesn't even talk to people she doesn't know. She doesn't even talk to people she knows, to be honest.
I don't think I hugged Rosemary.
No, probably not. Probably not. None of, like, look, our friend Ivy, her best friend, they rarely hug.
Mm.
And they've been best friends for years now.
Yeah.
So. Oh. But no. Anyways, that's the raw story. I got plenty more. Not of with him, but.
Right.
But no, yeah, I mean, I've shit in a Kmart floor. There's been, I don't know, man. Like, I had a weird, my life was weird, man. I had some weird experiences. I don't regret any of them. Besides not getting the tattoos, I do regret not getting those tattoos now.
Those would have been great. But now we get to live vicariously through tattooed art somewhere else.
I might still go get those tattoos, even at 40.
I'll go with you.
Like, that was a drunk thought, and in retrospect, probably the dumbest drunk idea I've ever had.
Or the best.
Well, now looking back of it, I'm like, man, it's a funny story. It'd be great to have the visual. Like, it'd be great to be able to throw up my drinking buddy and my wingman.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But anyways,
like I said, I'll go with you if you get them.
Rosemary would kill me. Look, I also wanted to do a self-portrait. Never told anybody this one.
I've never heard this one.
I had a thought process of doing a self-portrait on my rib cage. And by self-portrait, I mean just a stick figure guy. That was
a
it.
Bearded stick figure with a hat.
Well, I was in the military. I didn't have a beard at that time. It was just going to be a stick figure guy. And that's all it was. And I was going to call it the self-portrait. I didn't get that one either. There's a lot of tattoos I didn't get while I was in the military that I wanted to get. But I also come out of the military with no tattoo. Like, I didn't get a single tattoo while I was in the military.
Now you're just a Disney fan.
Yeah, I've got the one tattoo, and I got that. Hell, I got out of the military in 2013. I got my first tattoo at 38, 37. So I've had it 3 years.
Yeah, I remember you getting that tattoo.
God, it got so... The dude went heavy-handed, so it got all infected. It was bad.
Oh, no. I remember you getting that tattoo.
But, yeah. And, hell, I didn't even plan it.
That's after we had...
Yeah, that's after we started hanging out again.
Yeah.
You're freezing up on me.
Well,
I think your internet.
or
Yeah.
right about the same time that we started hanging out a lot.
Yeah. And really, Rosemary
You
went
sound
to
pretty
go.
clear now.
Okay. Rosemary went to go get a tattoo, and I was sitting in there, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to get one. So I got one. Chad, are we having issues? Do I sound okay, or is it my end, or is it on? Is it the spotty Wi-Fi at the hotel?
Yeah. Hotel Wi-Fi.
Okay. Gas is lag. Okay, so it's your Wi-Fi. It hadn't been too bad. It made it to right around the end. So more people are at the hotel right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, more people are at the hotel.
That's probably true.
But anyways, so, but yeah, I might go get that. So I had plans. Like I have a plan to get 2 whole sleeves. The side where my CB tattoo is going to be just my military career in tattoo, like the flags of the countries that I've visited. Well, not necessarily the flag, but like specific landmarks, known landmarks for where they're at, and then different things like that. And then the other arm's pretty much just going to be all my favorite things. Like it's going to be, Florida State stuff, video games, Pokemon, all mixed in.
For Guam, can you just get the G spot?
I was thinking about ball scratchers.
No, that works too.
Actually, you know what I could do for Guam? I could do ball scratchers and G spot right on top of each other, just like the bar and strip club.
Yeah.
I wonder what Kyle's doing nowadays. Anyways, Kyle's a stripper was a stripper at the G spot. Good friend of mine, sweet girl. Very nice. Little weird, but kind of have to be in that line of work. Now she got married. I went to her wedding in 2014, which that was weird. I met her in Guam in 2009 at a strip club. She just got done dancing on stage and come over to the bar, and I was sitting there making sure the guys don't waste all their money or end up in a back room somewhere. And just was chatting with her. We ended up becoming good friends, and then I went to her wedding in 2014. She moved back to the States, got married, and I drove over to Arkansas, and went to a random stripper from Guam's wedding. So
good on you.
Yeah, that was
good on you.
That's
the only reason why I like to go to Arkansas is to hunt ducks.
That's the first time I went to Arkansas. The second time I went to Arkansas was a much sadder reason we went. My wife's uncle passed away. He was a former Marine. He and I ended up getting real close when Rosemary and I first got together. He sadly just passed away, brain aneurysm, and so we had to go down there for his funeral. It was nice seeing the family, but I'll never go back to Arkansas. And they live in Little Rock. Like you would think Little Rock wouldn't be that bad because it's at least a big city ish. Look, they had a creative discovery museum kind of place, which that place was actually pretty cool. And then outside of that, you got to go look at stuff for Hillary and Bill Clinton, and I'm like, I don't really care to, unless there's a giant statue of Monica Lewinsky under a desk, I don't want to go look at it. That's it. Like, I have no desire to go see anything down there.
Well, they do have a Gus's Chicken in Little Rock, which Gus's Chicken's pretty good. And then if you ever find yourself back in Little Rock again,
I won't.
there's a
I won't. I promise you, I won't.
there's a restaurant there called Doe's that is really, really good.
I'll
So-
I'll consider that the next time I'm not in Little Rock, because I am not going
Yeah,
back.
that's fair.
Look, we got a freaking flat tire on their freaking terrace roads. Got to the wake at my aunt or Rosemary's aunt's house for like the family, where we all got together, drank beer, and reminisced. I go outside, the van tire's flat, so I had to put the spare on while drunk. And then Rosemary had to drive over to Discount Tire and buy a new tire so we could get home from Arkansas. Because we couldn't fix the tire. Like, it was in the sidewall. Like, I don't know how it got in the sidewall.
Listen, I'll tell you this. The interstate system in Arkansas is the absolute worst interstate system in the country.
Potholes galore.
It's terrible.
Well, I mean, you get that many freaking tornadoes and shit that go through there.
They're always working on it, but it never gets better.
Well, we can't say much. We do live in Chattanooga, where they're always working on 24. They've been working on 24/75 split since we were kids.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And it's gotten worse. Like, it hasn't. Like, we were doing good, then the bridge collapsed and fell on that guy, and somehow he survived. And in the car, he was. Did you not remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
He was getting off 24 onto 75, and he was under one of the overpasses. From the 75 getting onto 24, a tractor trailer went over it. Part of the bridge collapsed and fell on top of his car. Like, he was just sitting there, and the bridge falls on top of you.
Oh my gosh.
It took them 6 hours to get him out, because it wasn't a small piece of the bridge. Like, nobody knows how he survived.
Maybe that happened after I had moved away for a little while.
This was like 2018, right before COVID.
Yeah, I wasn't living there then. I was living in Texas at that point, I think.
Like, it was crazy. Oh, look, we had shots fired yesterday in the neighborhood. Still don't know what happened.
And you'll never know.
We were all in the pool. Me and Rosemary got out, went up front to the front porch. Well, I heard the gunshots, and it wasn't, like, I knew it wasn't fireworks, because it was pop, waited a few minutes, then pop. Like, a good distance between the two shots. So I looked at Rosemary and I said, somebody shooting their gun in the city limits. And which is a big no-no. It's not Chickamauga. You can't just shoot your gun on your property.
Right.
So I was like, all right. I was like, well, it is what it is. I didn't think anything of it. I thought maybe it was further on over across the ridge on Dodds Avenue side, Glendale, which is a terrible part of town. Well, we're sitting there in the pool, and we see two cop cars come up, and they get up at the top of the hill, and they stop and they look at us. And then they just reverse it back down the hill and then take off up the road. And I'm like, do they think we did it? So Rosemary, I get out of the pool. Me and Rosemary, we get Juniper out of the pool. We take her inside with us. We leave the girls in the pool. We're like, whatever. We book it to the front porch to go watch 30 cop cars come silently flying through the neighborhood up the hill to the apartment complex up at the top of the hill. So apparently somebody let off 2 rounds, but then we had a white Toyota Tacoma, like a late 80s, early 90s Tacoma, come flying down the hill, and then just didn't even stop at the stop sign, like took it wide and took off. And then 2 cop cars just come down right behind him. So we assume he ran. But that was our excitement in the neighborhood yesterday.
Makes sense.
And we're still country at heart. We, instead of taking cover. We went to go see what happened.
You wanted to be that news interview for that one.
Yeah, we just wanted to go see what happened. But anyways,
That's funny.
my light fell.
Your light fell.
Yeah. Stay up there. Don't move. Stop in the name of love.
You know, I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
I'm pretty proud of us.
What? We did pretty well tonight.
Yeah. Without any support from Preston or Chump or Notable or anybody else, we've managed to
talk for 2 hours
and actually have some pretty entertaining stories, I think, and stories that we haven't told yet.
Yeah, that's nice too. I do want to say Family Matters is coming back in the fall. Urkel is making his return, and
Is
so
he really?
and so is Reginald Vell Johnson as Carl Winslow.
Yes.
Coming this fall on Hulu and ABC.
My Funko Pop is relevant again.
I'm so excited. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be just as bad as Fuller House.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Maybe worse. I don't know. I don't know if it can. Like, I was excited, and we kind of got a little bit more unfiltered Bob Saget with Fuller House. Like,
Yeah.
we got a better, like, we got the almost unedited version of Bob Saget before he passed away with Fuller House. A little bit more adult humor in it. So maybe it'll be better than that, but
I don't think I've ever gotten over like how raunchy Bob Saget's stand-up is.
it's so good.
Because you like, we just have this image of like the Danny Tanner Bob Saget
And America's Funniest Home Videos.
Yeah.
Look, I told I was talking. So, needless to say, Family Matters is on Disney Plus, so I was watching it. I just turned it on last night. Was kind of watching it, and watching the early seasons before Urkel became a staple. So it was just the Winslow family mostly.
Yeah.
We were sitting there talking about it, and she goes, "I never did get into this." I said, "Well, it ended 3 years after you were born." I was like, "This was my Friday night."
Maybe.
Yeah, this was my Friday night. She goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "Yeah, we had Perfect Strangers, Rescue 911, Family Matters, and Full House. That was the first iteration of TGIF. And if you don't know what Perfect Strangers is, just go look up Balky, and it's the greatest show ever." But anyways, he's my favorite character to show up in a lot of movies. Like, he shows up in Beverly Hills Cop.
Mm-hmm.
Axwell Foley. Anyways, but so, and she's like, "Well, we had TGIF, but it had Boy Meets World." And I said, "Yeah, that was later." And like, Boy Meets World is a good show too, but I was like, we had Full House. So you got a full hour of Bob Saget at one point with TGIF, because you had Perfect Strangers ended, and then you had Rescue 911 with William Shatner, and then you had Funniest Home Videos was next, because they had to get some kind of comedy after the live action 911 calls, and then you had Full House back to back with Funniest Home Videos. So it was an hour of Bob Saget being corny, and then Family Matters ended it, and then eventually you got shows like Step by Step and all those other ones.
Do you remember Doogie Howser?
I do remember Doogie. I still watch Doogie Howser, man.
And I mean, that's where
The Wonder Years.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, The Wonder Years is another one.
The Wonder Years. I used to watch The Wonder Years. Yeah, that was
Wendy
a great
Peppercorn.
show. Wendy Peppercorn. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, watch it. Look, we had good shows back in the day. Now it's hard to find something I mean,
What's the other one that
Tires is pretty good, but
Tires. I finished Tires finally.
it's so good.
Oh my gosh,
It's so good.
that show's so. Shane Gillis is so funny in that show.
God. But
But yeah, Family Matters, Step by Step, and even like before that, you had like Who's the Boss?
oh yeah, Tony Danza, Who's the Boss?
Tony
That was a
Danza.
good one.
Yeah.
All in the Family was another one I watched as a kid.
Yeah.
Was that the one with Janet Jackson? Yeah, that was the one with. No.
No, All in the Family was it had the
No, the one with Janet Jackson was crap. I can't think of the name of it. You had Wonder Years. You had what was the Kirk Cameron show? Michael J. Fox was in it too because he was the youngest brother. Crap. What was that? Look, do y'all remember the Kirk Cameron TV show from the late 80s? What was it called? Anyways, like I watched all that.
Growing Pains.
Growing Pains, that's it. Growing Pains. That was it.
Growing Pains, and then I used to watch Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap was great. Look, man, Magnum PI, the original, was so good.
Yeah.
I never got into MacGyver.
I love MacGyver.
I couldn't do it. Now, the new version of MacGyver is okay.
And what was the spoof that they did?
MacGruber.
MacGruber, yes.
But no, yeah, Rosemary and I were talking about it, and I was telling her about all that. And I said, look, because I was jamming out to the Family Matters song as it was playing, and she's like, now you're having a good old time. I said, look, 90s.
Days go by.
Yep. 90s sitcom theme songs, they hit different than anything you get. Yeah.
How funny is it that Carlton ended up being like the host of Funniest Home Video?
Well, that makes sense. He's about as corny as Bob Saget was at that time.
Yeah.
But man, 90s theme songs were so good.
I mean,
even the cartoon songs.
That's what I was going to say is like we even hinted at this last week. Like 90s cartoons were so much better than anything that they have today.
Yeah.
Like,
you're not wrong. Like the Ninja Turtles theme song was great.
Yes.
Doug.
And then the soundtracks for the Ninja Turtles movies were bangers.
Yeah, well, I mean, you had Vanilla Ice.
Yeah.
Ninja,
go
Ninja,
rap.
go Ninja, go.
I still listen to that every now and then.
I still jam out to Vanilla Ice. Stop, collaborate, and listen. Ice is back with a brand new invention. What's funny is my kids will hear the beginning of that, and their brains, I've trained them so well that their brains immediately go to Under Pressure with David Bowie and Queen.
Yeah.
But my brain, when it comes on, automatically goes to Vanilla Ice and Ice Ice Baby. I mean, look, Doug, Rugrats, those were later 90s.
Those were still good.
Yeah, so good. Recess, you remember Recess? Look, Recess was my first experience on Saturday mornings. It was ABC's like Disney on ABC or whatever on Saturday mornings. But that was my first experience with the nobody knows the trouble I've seen. And it was just I think it was the heavier set boy in the show, and he was in the bathroom by himself singing.
No, I don't think I watched Recess all that much. I just remember like always trying to get like to my grandmother's house after school so I could power.
Power Rangers. When I got to middle school, it was getting to my grandparents' house because they had cable, so I could watch TRL.
Yeah,
But
back when they actually showed music videos on
well,
MTV.
there was a reason. There was two very popular female artists at that time that are
Britney
our
Spears and
age.
Christina
Yep.
Aguilera.
And they were both in the top 10, so I got to watch Oh Baby Baby, How Was I Supposed to Know? And she's in her little schoolgirl outfit. And then
And
Christina,
Genie in a Bottle.
Yep, Genie in a Bottle. Two of the raunchiest music videos of the late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh my gosh.
And then Britney had to come out with that shitty song where she kissed her cousin in the music video, where they're running on the beach. I can't remember what it was called. It was done for one of her movies, whatever that movie where they ride in a car. She did one movie. It was terrible.
Movie where they ride in a car.
It's like a road trip movie.
Oh, I just remember there always being beef between Christina and Britney too. Like, I don't know if there actually was,
That's
but everybody always
I'm
made
done.
it out.
Sister Ruth, Sister
crap.
Agnes, get the belts.
The Nun came out.
Oh no.
Gassafras is in the tub eating
Howdy,
crayons
we owe
again.
you a nun.
And Panic just
'Cause
tried
it's
to
not on
bless
this
a Mountain
overlay.
Dew. I've
So,
had it with
apparently-
these two sanctified circus clowns.
If you turn
Light
off
the
the
incense.
alerts,
Secure the rosaries.
It
It's
doesn't.
an exorcism or a beatdown, whichever comes first.
well, that's okay. People get a glimpse of the nun that comes and shames us.
Did it still do the sounds?
Yeah, it did the sound. It just didn't pop up.
That's funny.
So sorry about that, everybody. Anyways, I don't know how to look. That's a Preston thing. I don't know how to do all that stuff. I thought if I clicked on the little eyeball, it would go away. I don't know how to turn off channel points.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of any other cartoons. I mean, Looney Tunes, like with the Looney Tunes that we had were better. And then I think my favorite Looney Tunes was one of the Tiny Toons.
Oh yeah, Tiny
Where-
Toons was great.
The Daffy, the baby Daffy, the elevator one. The elevator go up, elevator go down.
Oh, that one was so good.
I push a button, not your turn push a button. My turn push a button.
Look, I learned all my states from Animaniacs.
Did you really?
Yes.
I remember that show.
We're the Animaniacs.
And then I remember, like, we started getting like the adult cartoons a little bit, but they were marketed to the kids,
Mm-hmm.
like Ren and Stimpy
Rocco's Modern Life.
and All Real Monsters,
All Real Monsters.
Cat Dog.
I never watched Cat. So by that time I joined. Well, I hit high school, quit watching that, and then had joined the military by the time a lot of that. So Rocco was the last one I really watched.
Gotcha.
Ren and Stimpy I watched. I never really watched The Simpsons. Because I wasn't allowed to in my house.
That was me. Too.
Because Jesus did not like to see those things.
And the only time that I got to watch Beavis and Butthead was when I snuck and watched it.
I watched that at my grandparents' because it come on in the afternoon. It come on in the afternoon, and so I'd go into the second living room that they had where I watched TRL. Look, my grandmother would get so mad at me watching TRL, and then my grandfather would come in and he'd be like, "You shouldn't be watching this smut," and then he'd stand there and watch it. He's like, "Well, hey, you shouldn't be watching it either. She's 16 years old, Grandpa." But yeah, look, I shouldn't be. She has early dementia, and he's on his way out too, and it's sad. I got to go visit him. I'm going to visit him tomorrow. But yeah, it's rough. They pretty much raised me, with Mom working 2 jobs, or working her job full time, and then the old sperm donor not helping out.
I'll be honest. I didn't know that you were about to start talking about your grandparents. I thought you were about to say like some of the things that was wrong with Brittany.
No, my poor grandparents. Well, it's about the same. No, we're not Jehovah's. I celebrated birthdays and Christmas and Hanukkah and all that. I did. I got to celebrate both. My great grandparents were Jewish.
Oh, really?
Yep, I got to do Hanukkah and Christmas. So the Adam Sandler.
You had 9 crazy nights.
Yep, the Adam Sandler song was a hit at our house. That
David Lee Roth lights the
Stop
menorah.
So was Piece of Shit Car. That was a good popular one at our house too. That's such a good album. The Piece of Shit Car album by Adam Sandler is such a good album.
Yeah. I remember. I think one of my favorite two of my favorite Adam Sandler bits that were recorded on CD. Medium Pace.
Yeah.
And then Reverse Action. How about a little reverse action?
Anyways.
And then the 7 Foot Man. That was a good one.
7 Foot Man was a good one. Well, hell, look, we've made it 2 hours. Sorry to bore y'all with some little nostalgia from 2 40-year-old man. Well, one 40-year-old man, one 39-year-old man.
Yeah, don't put that on me yet.
So, but well, we got an ad break that's ending in 1 minute and 18 seconds. So,
we'll make it through that and then go from there.
Yeah, but
hey, Howdy gets to meet the Roomba finally.
Oh, he does. GP Roomba. I gotta add in there that Howdy is the attack. But no, yeah, I watched Beavis and Butthead a little bit. And I didn't watch The Simpsons really. I didn't watch South Park either.
Yeah, I didn't really either. What I've watched of those two have been later in life for sure.
I can quote some South Park, but I've never really watched it.
What's your favorite South Park?
Look, I don't know. You put me on the spot. I like Mr. Hanky. Isn't that the shit? Isn't that
Mr.
the turd?
Hand.
Who's the turd? The turd.
Oh, the turd.
Yeah, I think it's Hanky, Mr. Hanky or whatever. I don't know.
That might be it.
I didn't watch it enough.
My favorite episode of South Park was when there was like a Japanese fishing boat or something like that.
Yeah.
And all of the and they were like Japanese whalers, and the fishermen from that boat would always just run around and going, "Fuck are you, dolphin? And fuck are you away?" Like, it made me laugh. I laughed so hard about that one.
It's surprisingly accurate. No, I didn't. So I watched a lot of Robot Chicken.
Yeah, I watched some of that.
Space Ghost was probably the real only adult themed show that I watched as a kid.
I remember watching that a lot on Adult Swim back when, like, that was right after Adult Swim started Cartoon Network.
Yeah, and
then my favorite Adult Swim cartoon though is still Squidbillies.
Nothing brings a father and son together like a decapitated hooker in the billiards room. It's my favorite. That's my favorite line from that show. Did
Mine's the one that with Tommy Trebo and Bobby Bowden.
Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot about Bobby Bowden.
Why don't you teach me about them semen holes?
Did he? What is that, Diddy?
They have another squid and they name it Herschel Walker Kyler Dogs as hell.
Yeah.
My gosh.
But no, yeah, Space Ghost. That's where my unhealthy Brack obsession comes from.
Oh, that's so funny though.
But anyways, I guess that's a good a spot as any to wrap it up. And decapitated hooker in a billiards room. It's a good spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
We want to thank all y'all for hanging out with us, listening to us ramble, listen to our stories. Thanks for bearing with us. All in all, not a bad showing. Pretty good episode, I feel. But if you liked it, if you enjoyed it, even if you didn't enjoy it, or if you're just howdy that's gonna go review it out of spot or just for the hell of it, give it 5 stars and then just call me a bitch, howdy. That's all you got to do. But go ahead and give it 5 stars on whatever platform y'all listen to on. It will be available come Friday morning if you missed the first half or you missed any of the stories that we told. There's some good stories in here. I did tell a story where I shit in the floor in Kmart, but you're going to have to go back and listen to that one. But you can find that on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcast, Google Podcasts, Howdy's VHS tape player. He's got an app for it on there that he hacked from the Russians.
It's a scary one.
Yeah, it's a scary one. But yeah, go rate us there. And as always, we really do appreciate y'all. And shout out to the lurkers that hung out as well that didn't say anything. Love y'all the most because y'all really are the backbone of everything. Yeah, we'll see you next week, same time, same channel,
same place,
at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Wednesday night. And as always, rub-a-dub-dub.
Thanks for hanging in the tub.
And we'll be right back just to chat with chat for a few minutes.
Shift blues, so we fire up the stream. 2 dads raising hell, chasing whiskey dreams. Soap suds spilling like some midnight truth. Talking live from the tub, don't need no booth. 2 dads, 1 tub, where the wind